Yeah, thank you for staying with me on today's Tech Show, your premium dial, today 95.1 FM. We're now on the Tech Talk segment. Now, in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, photography and videography are no longer just about capturing moments. They're about storytelling, innovation, leveraging technology to create lasting impact. From drone to AI-powered editing tools, the industry is transforming at an unprecedented pace, offering new opportunities to creators and businesses alike. Now, joining me today to discuss this on the show is Deinma, the CEO of Mangrove Photography. Is a leading creative studio known for blending traditional artistry with cutting-edge technology. Lucas, thank you for having. It's so funny. Thank you for coming on the show, Lucas.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, because of time, let's get straight to this discussion. Now, how did you get into photography and videography, and what inspired you to start Mangrove Photography?
I got into photography first as a youth corper, as a youth corps member.
Interesting.
Yes, that was my side.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was a poet before I left.
I could remember.
Yes.
I could remember.
So then my name was Mangrove Poet. I wrote about the mangrove, my people, the rivers, our way of life. So when I delved into media and photography, I needed to tell the story of our people. And how do we do that? I needed to tell the story of how do we do that? And then what should be the name of the brand that does that? It's Mangrove Photography. So that was what gave birth to Mangrove Africa, the mother to Mangrove Photography, Mangrove Films, and Mangrove TV 247.
Okay, now how has technology changed the way photographers and videographers work compared to, like, let's say 10 years ago?
First, we'll look at our softwares. Softwares are being modified every single day. So a software, give or take, that we're using, let's say in 2018, has been modified severally. So we have more advanced tools in them. With the rise of AI now, you can take a picture, same picture, without it being too artificial and having some help from AI. So technology has helped. From the scale of 1 to 10, we'll give it 10 itself. Yes, but you can. What we're doing now is a blend of our creativity and technology to give the best to humanity. So that's it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, because a lot of people are wondering what emerging technology will have biggest impact on event photography and video in the next few years.
Technologies have already emerged. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we're not using 360 cameras at our events. We use them now.
Yeah.
Some 10 years ago, if you had a drone at your event, you'll probably be the richest man in River State. But now everybody who calls you for an event tells you, please, I need a drone. So far so good. Cameras have a lot of improvements in our technology has helped our event coverage and production to become better with the use of AI and the rest of them.
Now, for those of you listening to us, we are live on Facebook at Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. You could watch us and ask questions. I have in the studio Lucas Deinma. He's the CEO of Mangrove Photography, and we are talking about the future of videography and photography in this digital age. Now, Lucas, how have photographers and videographers been able to integrate AI into editing and post-production workflows in your studio?
Okay, you know that one thing about the beauty, AI has its pros and cons. First thing first is we do not, in the process of adding AI to your workflow, we do not want to take out the humanity out of it. Once you switch, it's a very tiny line.
Yeah.
That's why when people tell us that AI will take away our jobs from us, I laugh, because it's not going to work. Because in as much as AI can put you in a palace, there's a different feeling when you are in the palace and taking picture in the palace than just seeing yourself in the picture in the palace. So I always tell people that in as much as we're imbibing AI into our workflow, let's not miss out on AI. Just makes things easier for you. Let's say you have 500 pictures from an event. AI makes it faster for you to produce. You could work on one and then apply to the rest. But AI doesn't do the job. The human being the creative has to come back to do the job, to give command to the AI technology.
You talked about drones earlier.
Yes.
What roles do drones and 360 cameras play in modern event coverage?
Aesthetics.
Really?
For 360 cameras. You know, the camera is rotating, you're just standing and moving your body. And then when you look at the video, it looks like you're the one going around. So it gives us that aesthetics. Then for drones, it gives us an alternative view to what the eye sees every day. The eye sees from the high level, but with a drone shot, you can get an aerial view of the same event. So for those of us who use multiple cameras for an event, it gives you alternative shots and it makes it look more cinematic and beautiful.
This question will also help our listeners understand how you work. How do you balance creativity and technology in your projects?
Technology is to make work easier for you. Creativity is your skill. So without creativity, technology is not useful. And without technology, creativity cannot be properly expressed. So in order to get them right, you have to have an understanding. You know, photographers have argued over the time to say that it's not about the equipment you're using, it's about what you know. But the people who say that to you are using sophisticated equipment. In as much as they say that to make you want to know more, they work hand in hand. None can exist without the other, because technology in itself does not control itself. So the creative has to control the technology to bet what we see and what we admire online. So that's what we do with it.
For those who are just venturing into photography and videography now, what are the must-have digital tools?
First, when we define photography, we say it's the process of freezing, capturing moments with the use of a digital equipment called camera. So first thing first, you must have a camera. Now, having a camera is not enough. The camera does not have a mind of its own, so there must be a memory card in it. The camera in itself is blind, so the lens the lens serves as the eye of the camera, so there must be a lens. Now, beyond that, the camera works with light, and if you go to a place that has little illumination, you need a light, so you must have a speed light. You move on. After all that, after the moment has been captured, the camera does not produce itself. You need a laptop, you need a computer, you need a personal computer to produce. So when you have that, those are the basics, and then the softwares. Once you can get the softwares, Photoshop, Lightroom, and the rest of them, Adobe Premiere Pro, you can produce anything, anywhere for anyone to consume.
How has social media changed the expectation of clients and audience in visual storytelling?
The age we live in, social media you can't take out social media. I'll soon start a campaign in our schools, which would, sorry I'm deviating, but briefly.
No, it's important you share with us.
Which would come under my NGO, Angular Tuber Foundation, Mangrove Child Foundation, but in our own dialect. That's why we want to project it. Now, we don't want to tell these children to stop using social media. We want to tell them to use social media for profit. So, social media in itself, first for me, social media sold me. I was just a young photographer after NYSC, taking pictures of trees, flowers, people passing and posting on my Facebook page, writing mangrove photography. It wasn't registered then. People say, they even thought that I served in mangrove photography, not knowing that I served in a radio station like this. But mangrove was what I learned as a result of going to serve in a boarding state. So social media has played. There are clients I've worked with who are not in Nigeria, who only saw my post, who only saw pictures online, that paid me. Even one in Anambra State, we never met. We met first at the event. We met first at the event. So social media has come to say, social media, any creative who does not embrace social media, I think is shooting himself on the foot. So social media has helped creatives like us access places that our CVs can't even get to. But by virtue of the fact that our products, our digital products, which are pictures, popped up on someone's feed, and then they're like, oh, this picture is nice. What's the name of the person? And they see our mangrove photography, and they follow where the picture is coming from, and then contact us. I think every social media has done I don't want to do 99. I want to do 100 for every creative, not just photography, not just the photography industry, even in music and other forms of, even in fashion. Sometimes they just see your a picture of your dress that is being made by a brand, and they're like, "Oh, I like this dress. I want one of these dress." So social media has really helped us grow rapidly. You know, before now, when photographers take pictures, they go to the lab in the analog days, not digital days. They go to the lab, they watch the pictures, and then they give you a hard copy, and then you keep it in your house. The only time that copy can advertise itself is when someone comes to your house to visit you, and then you show them your album. But now your album is on social media. After your wedding, a couple of your pictures fly. You post them yourself. By so doing, you advertise it for the photographer. A lot of times, most of my jobs I do are not as a result of what I even posted. So what my clients will post, and they'll be like, I like these pictures. Who took it? Oh, my photographer is this person. Okay, let me give you his number, or their office is at Old Jerry, and the rest of them. So that's, social media has really helped us scale in this industry.
How do you see virtual reality, or would I say augmented reality, influencing event coverage in the future?
For me, I take that to be a side attraction.
Oh, really? Why do you think so?
Yeah, because, you know, event coverage, we tell the story here. Virtual reality gives us an imaginary thing. So I take it as a side attraction, or it beautifies the event. It actually doesn't affect what we do in the event. It just gives us more aesthetics. For lack of better word, more aesthetics to our event. So for me, it's just a side attraction.
Let's look at the challenges, because no matter how sweet everything you've been explaining is, there must be challenges. It's obvious. Now, what are those challenges? Let's say big challenges that photographers and videographers face in adopting new technology.
First, the cost for
the equipment, or for what?
For the equipment. You cannot upscale in photography if you don't embrace high tech.
When you say high tech, what does it mean?
Most recent technologies are the ones I classify as high tech. You can't upscale if you don't embrace them. You can't use a camera of 2000 in 2025 and expect that you'd upscale. So our first challenge is, particularly in Nigeria, is the cost of equipment. The cost of equipment is a very, very big challenge. Our second challenge is, particularly in Port Harcourt, the willingness of clients to pay. Okay, for instance, I get a camera for 4 million naira, and you're calling me for your event. Camera 4 million, lens 2.8 million. I mean, let's leave the other things. Then you're calling me for your event, and then you're telling me that your budget is 100,000. And the more I use this equipment, the more I encounter wear and tear. The more it breaks down. The more you live, the more you're closer to death. So I must, as a business person first, I must be able to save up to replace the camera, and then I must be able to run my office. I must be able to run my business as it is. So the challenge, the cost of the equipment, the willingness of clients to pay, or sometimes they don't have, but you know, humans, we have good taste. We want the best, but we don't know how to, when it comes to paying for the best, is an issue. So for me, I take that those two as major challenges. Other challenges are there, but for the sake of time, I take those two as major challenges because equipments are quite expensive. The middlemen in this industry, they're killing us. There was time.
When you say middlemen, what do you mean? So that our listeners will be able to understand what you're talking about.
People who sell these gadgets.
Okay.
For some of us have not been able to access buying directly from China, getting to the producers to buy, and then you go to a shop either in Port Harcourt or in Aba to say you want to buy a camera. You might see that camera, let's say a camera for 4.5 million, you might see it 2.5 million. But by the time they tell you they imported it, they paid custom duty, they paid this, they paid that, they did all of that. You understand? So the cost of having this equipment is something that is a very big challenge to us. But nonetheless, the cost and the willingness of clients to pay. Sometimes, although we have a few clients that know the value of these things and they pay for it, but when the number is small, you all know what that means.
How do you ensure quality while working faster in the age of digital content demand?
Quality comes from your equipment. Speed comes from the technologies you've embraced to work with.
Okay.
So once you can balance both of them, however, with good knowledge, you can an average equipment will give a good quality with good knowledge. But a good equipment with no knowledge will give a bad product. So we always advocate when we train young photographers, we tell them go for knowledge. Equipment is important. I've never downplayed that, but go for knowledge, because with a good knowledge and privilege of an average equipment, you can produce what anybody can consume. But with good equipment and no knowledge, you produce gibberish. So
you talked about training for young people, and how do you cope training? These days we don't have much of patient young people now. How do you cope in terms of training them? Looking at when you learned photography and now, do you understand? What do you think is the difference, and how are you able to train them to be able to master the art?
Okay, this is one big challenge that we have in the industry. You get unlike our time where you learn, you're certain that someone who has learned would give you 2 years of his life before he moves on. But somebody walks into your establishment and then learns, and in the next 5 months he wants to leave. Once he can produce what you can produce, once you've trained him that way, he wants to leave. And then we all know that we can't shy away from that. It has come to stay.
Yeah.
Lack of better word, Yahoo. Everybody wants the blow quick syndrome right now. You've been in this industry for 10 years. You can afford a Corolla. Somebody comes and he's been with you for 10 months. He wants a Corolla or he wants a Benz. So it's a big issue right now. And I think some of it comes from our families. Families have not really helped. Because somebody comes to work with you, he's not done with training, he's telling you that he has family responsibilities.
Yeah.
So it's a big issue. If not, for someone like me, I'm not speaking for others, for someone like me, I know that I'm one of the biggest brands that have produced younger photographers because I do it all the time. One of the goals of my business or my brand is to ensure that we take people out of the streets. If I find a young person willing to learn photography to stay out of crime and wants to make use of his life, I will do it because it's part of what I want. It's part of the society I envisage, where every man will earn a dime that he's proud of. So the challenge now is when you give them this skill, because it's an investment.
Yeah.
I tell my team every day, whatever I do for you is an investment. You'll not be with me forever, but I expect that you should give back to me. I'm like a drum. If you keep fetching out of me and you don't replenish, meaning I'll go empty. So if you have a heart of a human, you should give back to me. So that's the idea of people coming and then staying, even if it's for a period before they leave, is a very big issue. They come in and then once they get what they can get, they're in a hurry to leave. Sometimes they don't even understand the business. That's one of the challenges that we have. So they don't even know how to price a client. When they get stuck, they sometimes come back to say, something just price anyhow. And then you see somebody that, okay, yes, I can do this. I can do this as a brand. It was with me, he was doing this for me, and he leaves, and he's coming to do it cheaper. The client will go for a cheaper option.
Yeah.
So that's one of the challenges that we have.
Now, what trends do you predict in the future in terms of professional photography and videography in Nigeria and maybe largely Africa?
Trends?
Yeah.
Smaller cameras, higher quality, faster gears. Because every brand is producing a gear that is very portable. You know, human beings like comfort.
Yeah.
So every brand is producing and then adding the feel of comfort to their production. So I predict smaller, more portable gadgets, which are faster, which can produce. And another challenge that we have, I'm sorry I'm mentioning challenge here, we don't produce in Africa. So
we import.
We import. So we will always, we're a consumer economy. So we'll always be at the back when it comes to access to this equipment. We're like a dump site. Some of the cameras that we use now, some photographers have used them 5 years ago. And when you go online to look at the reviews, you see. So what I still predict is faster equipment, more portable and faster equipment, and expensive. Because we buy them in dollars.
Yeah. Now, my final question, I'm going to join two questions in one because of time. So you just have to answer them.
Okay.
What would be your advice to upcoming photographers and videographers who want to thrive in the evolving digital landscape? Also, how can young creators monetize their skills effectively?
The first one, you want to thrive, go for knowledge. Go for knowledge. Understand what you're into. Some people, this blow quick syndrome is affecting us. Understand what you're in. Understand photography in its creative aspect. Understand photography in the business of it. Once you can merge both of them, you're on your way to success. That's the first step. Then, what's the second question?
The second question is about monetizing their skills in this digital era.
Every picture you take is a digital product. So, putting it out there, monetizing your page on social media, putting it out there, creating content creation. Because you already have a product as a photographer.
Yeah.
If I take a picture now, you have your image right, I have my copyright. I can use my copyright anywhere. I would only need your permission because it's your image to tell you that this image is going here. And if we have to sign a contract for you to have a percentage in whatever comes in. So every picture is a product. So just put it out there, and then sometimes it doesn't come as per payment from social media platform. It comes as a product of an advert already. And Mr. Paul, who took you that picture? Mangrove. You've made an advert for me already. By word of mouth. So just put out your product, your digital product, and then money will come over time.
I wish I could continue to have this conversation with you because you've given a lot of insight for photographers and videographers, and I must thank you, Lucas Deinma, the CEO of Mangrove Photography. I think you do more than photography these days.
Yes,
because every day I see different equipment. You know, you own the whole of OGRA. Every day, you know, when I get out of the office, I get to see people. You know, a lot of people are trying to imitate you there, and it's funny sometimes when I see with big bags.
Well, that's why we're trailblazers, so we can lead some other people who are interested in the industry, right? So we do photography, and then 2026 we're moving into our arm of capacity building, particularly secondary schools. We want to see how we can catch them young, get young people to be more useful, get them to understand that if your mom is selling akara and you're on Facebook, you can come on Facebook and not just posting things that are not necessary. You can advertise your mom's akara, and then by so doing, the income in your family will improve for better. Whatever it is, some of us came from a background of selling water. But today, look at where we are. So we want to let young people understand that everybody will not be born by the governor. Everybody will not be born from a wealthy home. But that does not mean that you cannot create out something for yourself. Social media has given us a platform for anybody who understands the use of it to grow.
I look forward to working with you on that project because it's interesting to build the capacity of younger people. Lucas Deinma, CEO of Mangrove Photography, thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you very much.
So that's the show for this week. Join us again next week, Monday. Talk That Talk is after the news at 2.